What's up, guys? It's Eric. 1 week so far on this right here, Red Kratom. Red Kratom, been on this for a week, and I want to share with you what my experience has been like with this. If you're new to my channel, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm not a doctor, not a counselor, not a therapist. I'm none of that. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict, and I like to share all the experiences that I can and tools that I can for anybody out there struggling. So what is Red Kratom like after taking it straight for a week? Here's how. Every morning I start off by taking Red Kratom right now. This right here is a bottle of it. I take Red Kratom in the capsule form, not in the powder form. There are different forms that you can take the Kratom in. And Red Kratom is one of the different strands out there. There's white Kratom, there's green Kratom. I've done videos on those. I'm in the experimental phase right now of the Red Kratom. The reason I'm experimenting with it is because I'm diagnosed with MDD. It's major depressive disorder. SSRIs, which are like Prozac, Lexapro, antidepressants, affect me differently than what they do some others. Instead of making me happy, they actually make me suicidal. I did research on Kratom, found out that it has the properties to give you increased energy and even increase your mood. So I wanted to see what it would do. I've had success with both of the Kratoms. Unfortunately, I also had some side effects with them. So Red Kratom is what I'm taking now. Kratom, for you that don't know, is a tea leaf. It's grounded up into a powder. And this right here is Red Kratom. It's not necessarily, is it red? It does, I guess, have a little bit of a darker tone than some of the other Kratoms do. And why I take it in the capsule form is because of how I do my trial and error. Red Kratom is the strand that scares me the most because it does affect your brain similar to what opiates do, hitting your brain receptors where opiates actually connect with your brain receptors. That's why addiction to opiates and to heroin are so hard to get off of, because your brain actually wants it. Where Red Kratom has some of those same properties. So I was a little bit nervous taking it. How I've done them all is I take 4 capsules in the morning and I take 4 capsules in the afternoon. So I'm taking 8 capsules total. Each capsule is 650 milligrams. So I'm not taking a ton of Kratom. The reason I don't do the scoops in the powder form or just scooping it on my tongue or mixing it in a drink is just because of the texture for it. And I wanted to be able to regulate it as much as possible. So what I've experienced after a week of taking Red Kratom is increased mood and increased energy tremendously. I was really worried about some of the side effects. So some of the side effects that you can have with Kratom is a decreased appetite. You can also end up being very sleepy, lack of energy is what I've been told with Red Kratom. I haven't experienced any of that. I haven't experienced any change in my pupils of dilation. None of these have I experienced with it. And in fact, out of all of the Kratoms, Red Kratom is the only one that hasn't really affected my stomach. White Kratom and green Kratom both affected my stomach, where I had really bad runs the first couple days that I was taking it, where with Red Kratom, I actually haven't experienced that. So this is something that's different with the Red Kratom that I've experienced, and I did not experience it with the other two. Those actually kind of upset my stomach for the first couple days. Red Kratom, one of the side effects that I have noticed is it does make me actually a little bit more talkative. I do notice that effect that I am a little bit more talkative. I'm a little bit easier to carry on a conversation with. In real life, I am actually kind of shy. I do have my little mood swings that I go through. A little bit of that's due to the ADHD. Red Kratom, though, definitely has increased my mood and increased my energy. I'm working out every morning. I wanted to see, one of the things it says is an effect of it is pain relief. So I stopped working out and doing any kind of muscle activity for about 3 weeks. Went back to doing muscle activity, and I'm week 2 now of working out, and I still feel a little bit of the pain. It hasn't really killed or numbed any pain for me, but in mood and energy, it has definitely increased. Now, these are what it's done to me. Now, everybody's different. You have to remember that. And I always share about trial and error because I know a lot of people that Lexapro is a great example, has been just a wonderful drug for. Where with me, Lexapro made me want to commit suicide. So it is trial and error. We're all going to be affected by things a little bit differently. Red Kratom for me, though, has been great so far. The thing I am worried about is going to be if I have any withdrawals and what the detox is like, because with the other 2 Kratoms, I did have a form of detox. I wouldn't say necessarily withdrawals where it was so bad that I started craving and that I just felt that I needed this to just make the pain go away or the chills go away. So I am curious after 30 days what the detox will be like, and also if I'm going to end up withdrawing from it and actually having withdrawals. And I'm going to end up recording those. But I can tell you this, so far, the first week of it, I've definitely felt an increased mood, increased energy, and it's helped a lot because August is a hard month, and that's the month that I'm taking it in, because my dad committed suicide this month, and my wife committed suicide this month. In 2017, 2015. So this is usually a really emotionally hard month for me. So I figured what better time than to try Red Kratom than a month that's normally hard for me, where I don't have the ability to use any true antidepressants. So far, it's made this month a lot more manageable. So I'm very, very impressed with it. Hasn't necessarily thrown off my sleep schedule at all. So when I start to stop taking it is when we'll see what kind of detox there is to it, what kind of withdrawals there is to it. But so far, I can't complain. I actually enjoy taking it. I take it, 4 capsules between 7:30 and 8 in the morning, and then I take another 4 capsules between 12:30 and 1 in the afternoon. And I've made sure and regulated that I'm doing that every single day. The first week, I didn't notice any of the real effects, I would say, until probably about day 5 is when I started really noticing, hey, my mood isn't hitting those lows that it normally does. With ADHD, it's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. With the Kratom, I haven't really hit many downs. So I do like that part of it. It does worry me a little bit to going, okay, is this something that's giving me a euphoric high, or is it a brain high where it's actually my receptors are going, hey, guess what? This is cheering us up. I will be able to find out though here shortly. I only have a couple more weeks left of doing the Red Kratom. So far, a week into it though, this has been actually really amazing. I'm really, really, really impressed with it. And again, I know that everybody has their own opinion on the type of Kratom to use, what Kratom to use, how to use it. So far with me, I mean, the capsule forms are the easiest, and there's nothing else really mixed in here other than any of the plastics or chemicals, I guess you want to say, that are used in the capsules. That's it. Other than that, it's pure Red Kratom. I've also heard that there is a difference on the freshness, what supplier, what vendor you get it from, and I'm sure that there is. With me, I wanted to keep everything as consistent as possible because I wanted to mirror the same experiment with all 3. So that's what I've ended up doing. So this was the brand that I actually ended up going with, was this right here, which is it's called Blue Magic, and that's the greatest thing of all. It's like, Blue Magic, great. But you know what? It actually has done a lot of help for me. I'm very impressed with it. If you've had any experiences with Red Kratom, though, I'd love to hear about it, because that's one thing that scared me with it a little bit. Is I've had friends who were addicted to opiates that used Red Kratom to actually get off of opiates, but ended up relapsing even worse on the opiates and had to end up going over to Suboxone or to methadone. I've had people that have told me miracle stories of Kratom. And so again, that's where it shows you that it's trial and error and it's different for everyone. And it's about doing you. When you do it, like with me, because of what I'm diagnosed with, because of being a recovering addict, I did let my doctors and everybody know, hey, I'm taking Red Kratom. Here's what my worries are with it. Mainly when it came to the fact that I know that it can be abused and that my brain can become and my body addicted to it, because people have before. So I wanted to protect myself as much as humanly possible from that. I never had an addiction problem when it came to opiates or when it came to heroin. My drugs of choice was alcohol and cocaine. So we will see how it goes. But so far, I can tell you this, it's been a wonder. It's definitely kept my mood up. It's kept my energy level up. And all in all, I'm pretty impressed. I'd love to hear, though, your experience, too. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Click the little bell if you want to be notified. I do videos a lot on just sharing all the experiences and tools that I can. And I do what I'm able to bridge kind of the gap between a crisis hotline and therapy. I even started a nonprofit. If you click the link down below, I have links to all my different social medias. I have links to the mental health peer-to-peer support communities that I have out there that are free. I even have links down below to things on Amazon that I use, like fidget cubes, fidget spinners, things that I use for when I'm struggling with my anxiety or I'm struggling with depression. I don't want to resort to medication. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp, because again, it's trial and error to find out what works for you. And when it comes to therapy, it's finding the right therapist, getting the right help with the therapist, and fighting through every single day. And if you're afraid of therapy, it is another option for you out there. Again, trial and error with everything. Just because it worked for me doesn't mean necessarily that it will work for you, but at least maybe it'll get your thought process and your idea process going of, hey, what can I do that will help me and benefit me in life to make this fight a little bit easier? Because you're amazing. you made it through 100% of your worst days. And you know what? You didn't come this far to only come this far. So don't give up. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments. And let's do this together.